Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Matrix English Podcast. I am Maria. Today we talk about coffee. Millions of people drink it every single morning, all around the world. But most people do not know what is really happening inside their body when they drink it. So get comfortable. Let us go. Let us start with a simple fact. Coffee contains something called caffeine. Caffeine is a natural chemical. It comes from coffee beans. It is also in tea and in chocolate and in some other plants and drinks. Caffeine does not give you new energy. This is very important to understand clearly. Caffeine does not create energy inside your body from nothing. Instead, it blocks something. And to understand what it blocks, we need to talk about a different chemical, a chemical called adenosine. Adenosine is made inside your brain all day long, continuously. Every minute you are awake, your brain makes a little more adenosine. As the day goes on, adenosine builds up more and more, hour after hour. And adenosine has one simple job. It makes you feel tired. It tells your brain, you have been awake for a long time. It is time to rest now. Think about adenosine like sand falling slowly into a glass. In the morning, the glass is empty. You feel fresh. You feel awake. As the day continues, more sand falls in, little by little. By the evening, the glass is almost completely full, and you feel very tired. You want to sleep. This is completely normal. This happens to every single person, every single day of their life. Now, here is where caffeine becomes important. In your brain, you have special places called receptors. Think of a receptor like a small lock, and adenosine is like a matching key. When adenosine connects to its receptor, it tells your brain, feel tired now, slow down. This is how your body naturally knows it is time to sleep. Caffeine has a very interesting and unusual shape. It looks remarkably similar to adenosine, so similar that it can actually fit into the same lock, but caffeine does not turn the lock the same way adenosine does. Caffeine simply sits there, blocking the space completely. So now, when real adenosine arrives, it cannot fit anywhere. The lock is already taken by caffeine. This means caffeine does not remove your tiredness at all. It only blocks your brain from feeling that tiredness for a limited while. The adenosine is still there in your brain. It is still building up the entire time, but your brain cannot feel it because caffeine is sitting in the receptor instead, blocking the signal. This is why, after caffeine eventually stops working, many people feel extra tired all at once. Sometimes people call this a caffeine crash. It happens because all the adenosine that quietly built up during that time suddenly connects to the brain at once, the moment the caffeine finally leaves the body. Now let us talk about how fast caffeine actually works. After you drink coffee, caffeine moves from your stomach into your blood. This usually takes around 20 minutes. Then it travels through your blood to your brain. Most people start to feel more alert and awake within 30 minutes to 1 hour. The full effect often reaches its highest point around 1 hour after drinking it. But caffeine does not leave your body quickly at all. Scientists use a word called half-life to describe how long a substance stays active in your body. The half-life of caffeine is usually about 5 to 6 hours. This means that 5 or 6 hours after you drink your coffee, half of that caffeine is still inside your body, still active. This is exactly why drinking coffee late in the afternoon can still affect your sleep that same night. Many people do not realize this important connection. Now, let us talk about another chemical involved in this entire process, dopamine. Caffeine does more than simply block tiredness. It also slightly increases dopamine activity in your brain. Dopamine is connected to feelings of pleasure, motivation, and focus. This is one important reason coffee can feel not just energizing, but also genuinely enjoyable. Your brain feels a small reward when you drink it. This is part of why coffee can become such an easy daily habit for so many people around the world. Now, let us talk about something many people do not fully understand: why coffee can sometimes make people feel nervous or shaky. Caffeine also affects adrenaline, sometimes called the fight or flight chemical in your body. In small amounts, this can feel like helpful energy and sharp focus. But in larger amounts, or for people who are very sensitive to caffeine, it can feel like nervousness, a fast heartbeat, or shaky hands. This is exactly why some people feel calm and focused after coffee, while other people feel anxious and uncomfortable from the very same cup. Every person's body reacts to caffeine a little differently from everyone else. Now, let us talk about timing, because timing can genuinely change everything about how coffee affects you. Many people drink coffee the very moment they wake up, immediately. But research suggests this might not actually be the best time. Remember the cortisol we discussed in a previous episode about mornings? Cortisol is your natural morning energy hormone. It is naturally highest about 30 to 45 minutes after waking up. If you drink coffee during this natural peak, the caffeine has less real work to do because your body is already producing its own natural alertness on its own. Some sleep scientists suggest waiting about 60 to 90 minutes after waking up before drinking your first coffee. This allows your natural cortisol peak to do its job completely first. Then, when cortisol begins to drop slightly on its own, caffeine arrives at exactly the right moment to extend your energy and focus even further into the day. Now, let us talk about coffee and sleep, because this particular connection matters very much for your overall health. Since caffeine can stay active in your body for many hours, drinking it too late in the day can quietly damage your sleep quality, even if you do not notice it happening directly. You might fall asleep just fine, without any obvious problem. But research clearly shows that caffeine late in the day can reduce the amount of deep sleep you get, even when you feel like you slept completely normally. And we already know from our sleep episode how deeply important deep sleep is for memory and overall brain health. This is why many sleep researchers recommend avoiding coffee after early afternoon, especially if you notice that your sleep quality feels poor or your mind feels unusually busy and active at night when you are trying to rest. So let us bring everything together now, completely. Coffee does not give you new energy from nothing. It blocks a chemical called adenosine, which is the chemical responsible for making you feel tired throughout the entire day. Caffeine fits into the same brain receptors as adenosine, blocking it temporarily for several hours. It also slightly increases dopamine, which is why coffee can feel both energizing and genuinely enjoyable at the same time. Caffeine takes about 30 minutes to 1 hour to reach its full effect, and it can stay active in your body for 5 to 6 hours, or even much longer than that. Drinking coffee too early might waste your natural cortisol peak, and drinking it too late might quietly damage your sleep quality without you realizing it. The next time you drink your morning coffee, you will know exactly what is happening inside your brain. Not new energy appearing from nothing at all, Just an old, natural tiredness quietly being blocked for a little while longer. Thank you for listening today. I am Maria. This is Matrix English Podcast. Drink wisely, sleep well, and I will see you in the very next episode.